The house lights dim at 8:30, and somewhere in the pit below, a single oboe finds its note and tells the whole room, here we go. The violins begin to tune a cascade of expectation, and every soul inside that hall forgets their occupation. Something glorious is about to start when music gathers up its heart. The orchestra tunes up and the whole world holds its breath. The orchestra tunes up, there's no other sound like this. The chaos turns to order and the order turns to song. The orchestra tunes up and we all know we belong. We all belong right here. The orchestra tunes up and the night begins. The conductor lifts his baton high. The hall goes perfectly still, and 40 instruments become one single thrilling will. I've sat in every kind of seat, from balcony to floor, but nothing in the concert hall has moved me like before. The moment when the tuning stops and music fills the air, the moment when the world outside completely disappears. Something golden is about to fall when 40 instruments become one call. The orchestra tunes up and the whole world holds its breath. The orchestra tunes up, there's no other sound like this. The chaos turns to order and the order turns to song. The orchestra tunes up and we all know we belong. We all belong right here. The orchestra tunes up and the night begins. Tunes up and the whole world holds its breath. The orchestra tunes up, there's no other sound like this. The chaos turns to order and the order turns to song. The orchestra tunes up and we all know we belong right here.
I had $1 and a dozen roses when I showed up at her door. She looked at me like I was crazy, which I was and still am more. She said, where did you get 12 roses for $1.23? I said the market was near closing and old Pete was glad to see me. I'm not a rich man, I'm a lucky man, and that's a better thing. $1 and a dozen roses, that's all a fellow needs. $1 and a dozen roses, plant the right kind of seeds. I didn't have the car or the jewels or the fancy aftershave, but $1.12 roses was the best I ever gave. And she laughed and let me in. $1.12 roses wins. She put them in a coffee pot, the only vase she had, and stood back and said they're beautiful, which made me very glad. 40 years of Tuesdays later, still a coffee pot of blooms, still $1 at the market, still walking into her room. I'm not a clever man, I'm a constant man, and that's the finest thing. $1.12 roses, that's all a fellow needs. $1.12 roses, plant the right kind of seeds. I didn't have the car or the jewels or the fancy aftershave, but $1.12 roses was the best I ever gave. And she laughs and lets me in. $1.12 roses always wins. $1.12 roses, that's all a fellow needs. $1.12 roses, plant the right kind of seeds. $1.12 roses was the best I ever gave. And she laughs and lets me in. $1.12 roses.